How's it going, gang? Chris Card's back through the mail Monday. 6 returns for you today, including our very first one here from Fort Myers, Florida. Hope everyone out there had a great weekend. And we've got a 79 Topps card signed by Mr. Ron Guidry and Craig Swan. Craig Swan return, $5 a card from Craig. 1974 Topps team card signed for my set, already signed by Cleon Jones. Pretty much a lifelong New York Met during the down years, unfortunately for him. 1978 ERA leader, by the way, 2.64 ERA that year. Went 9-6, and great little year. Unfortunately, the Mets still finished 30 games below 500. All 12 years of his big league career spent with the Mets, except for 1984 when they released him. He went and signed and pitched a couple of games for the California Angels, and that was it. Craig Swan, a good starting pitcher, pretty much started the majority of his career except for that last year of 1984. Awesome return for Craig Swan. Way to get this one started, Craig. Thank you very much. Let's move on, my friends, to return number 2. All right, gang, next return from Atlanta, GA. Right there on the envelope, as you can see. Complete with my return address label, which I just started putting on my envelopes, in case you were wondering. And we've got Vic Carell. Vic Carell here. Signed 3 cards very nicely, 78 Topps, as well as an 80 Topps card. 1974 Topps team card of the Braves, already signed by Sonny Jackson and Frank Tepedino, with a nice, beautiful signature there in the bottom left-hand corner. Vic, let's see, 8-year career, backup catcher mostly during his career. In fact, he backed up Johnny Bench in 78 and 79. Spent 4 years with the Braves, 3 years with the Cincinnati Reds, and 1 little old year with the Red Sox. Nice return from Mr. Vic Carell. Nice to get that 74 Topps team card signed. Of course, as you guys have noticed, I'm hitting them pretty hard, so trying to figure out who I send that off to next as we move on towards our third return. Our next return from Kansas City, Kansas. And if this was Missouri, it would have said Kansas City, MO. So those are the distinctions between those two postal code stamps, in case anybody was wondering. We got Frank White, speaking of Kansas City, Kansas, a Jackson County legislator in Kansas City. Frank White, 87 Topps, 89 Upper Deck, 84 Topps, all 3 cards signed beautifully for the sets. Hurt a little bit, $20 a card. Actually came out closer to $25 a card if you count the past pros fees. Legendary Kansas City Royal. In fact, they got a bronze statue outside of Kauffman of Mr. Frank White. Retired as number 20. Of course, member of that 1985 World Series championship team. He was a 1980 ALCS MVP. Spent 18 years with the Kansas City Royals, 1973 all the way to 1990. He is a guy you're not going to see me get back on a 74 Topps card. It is just simply a little bit too much money. But glad to get this 5-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove Award winner back on the set cards I needed. Moving on, my friends, to our, let's see where we're at. Number 4, let's do it. North Texas, Texas for return numero 4. We got fluffy envelope, which makes me think there may be some, there's some answered questions in here. Very nice return from Eddie Zoski. All right, Eddie Zoski on a 91 Upper Deck card. Former first-round draft pick out of Cal State Fresno, actually. Cal State Fresno back in 1989. First-round pick, 19th overall of the Blue Jays. Signed 4 beautiful Blue Jays cards for me. Answer some questions. Let's see what we got here. Of course, also played for the Braves, Marlins, Astros as an infielder. He was the Blue Jays shortstop of the future. How many autograph requests do you typically receive each week or month? He says about 20 to 30 a month. And is there any sort of pet peeves? He says, it's awesome that I get cards. I love it. I was always about the kids and fans. This does not bother me at all. And he signed it once again. Eddie Zoski. Awesome. Answered questions back from Eddie Zoski, who crazy. His biggest year, he got into 18 games for the Blue Jays in 1991, and that was it. He only had a handful of more games in the bigs after that. 44 total, actually, between all of his sporadic 5 years in the big leagues, which is crazy because he's got like 7 trillion cards, and maybe that's because he was a first round draft pick, but boy, in 2025, he probably wouldn't. He maybe have a couple Bowman draft cards, but that's about it. But Eddie Zoski, I wish you would have signed it in blue. Not to complain, but always a nice little color match with the uniform, and the Sharpie would have looked pretty cool. There you guys go. There's information. Obviously, he loves getting the cards, and there is a ton of pretty cool 90s Eddie Zoski cards. So there you guys go. Let's move on, my friends, to return number 5. Next return from Westchester, New York. Our 5th return. We just got one more to open up after this one. And we have an unsigned index card as well as some vintage. Super vintage. Bob Saverine here signed. 63 Topps card. Very nice. 67 Topps. And we've got a 66, I do believe, signed. And we got a card stuck to the back of the 66. And it's a 65, and it is not signed, actually. I think he probably didn't see that 65. It was kind of stuck pretty good to the back of the 66. So it is what it is. Bob Saverine signed 3 very nice cards for me. I think one other guy in that 63 Rookie Stars card is still alive, but I don't think he's signed. So that card is pretty much just going to stop there as far as signatures are concerned. I don't normally like getting partial, especially when there's 4 of them, partial cards signed like that. But when I had it on hand, so I just figured, what the heck, let's send it. So 6 years in the bigs, 4 with the Orioles, and 2 with the Senators, of course. 84 years young, still signing strong. Very nice return from Mr. Bob Saverine. All right, guys. What else is there to say about Bob? He was an infielder, and he even played some center field in the bigs. 66, I think, was his best year in the bigs for the Senators. And there you guys go. There's information. Nice return. Let's move on, guys, to return number 6. All right, gang. Final return is from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia there with my baby animal stamps. And we've got index card here, and we've got Daryl Boston. All right, Daryl Boston on an 89 number deck card as well as an 87 Topps card. Both cards signed very nicely for the set. Now, he does sign through Pass Pros, $15 a card, I think it was. In fact, let's be honest, with the Pass Pros fees, it's like $18 a card, I think. So always got to remember that Pass Pros takes a rake there, and it's $3 a pop for Mr. Daryl Boston, longtime coach of the White Sox, actually, up until last year during that unfortunate White Sox record-breaking 2024 season. Actually, no, I think he was gone a year before that, so he missed out on that, thankfully. But yeah, his father, Henry, played in Negro League, so he came from a pretty good baseball family, including his brothers. They all played. I don't think anyone made it to the majors, though, except Mr. Daryl Boston, who played 11 years in the bigs, 7 with the White Sox, 3 with the Mets, 1 with the Rockies, and 1 with the Yanks. And I do remember Daryl Boston on those very early 90s bad Mets teams. Of course, when when it's 90, 91, I don't think any of those teams are bad. I think they're great, and I think they should do very well every year. But, looking back at it, yeah, those were bad. Those were bad years for Met fans. So that's the fun about baseball. You're always hopeful about next year. And we're looking at Dodgers right now, definitely in the playoffs after an incredible performance by Shohei Ohtani yesterday. 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 3 home runs. That's unbelievable. And of course, the Blue Jays and the Mariners had a fun game last night. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, tying it up, and then of course Eugenio Suarez with the grand slam to finish that game off. I guess the Blue Jays, they'll be going back to Toronto to try to win 2 in a row to go make this a Toronto, an all-blue World Series with the Blue Dodgers and the Blue Jays. So, yeah, the big dumper. He doesn't really have a big dumper. You know what? The original big dumper, let's be honest, was Sid Fernandez. He literally had a mini fridge in his back pocket. So, in my opinion, he's got the nickname. I'm going to look at it because, it's not that big. So, maybe it was bigger at one point. I don't know. Mariners, a fun story. I really do hope they make it to the World Series. Seattle, a great city. Love going up there. Really bummed out I didn't get to a game this year. So I probably did them a favor by not attending one of their games this year. Every time I attend a baseball game, be it the Mets or any other team I root for, they end up just having a terrible year or they lose. So Anyway, my friends, through the mail Monday number 352. Put it in the books. Thanks for joining me. I do this every single Monday. I've done it for the last 352 weeks in a row. Hit that like button, and then, of course, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's returns. Pretty good haul for this week. And yeah, Seattle's a great city. You know, also a great city. Portland, Oregon is a great city. War-torn Portland. I was there last, probably a couple weeks ago now, actually, and saw Borns, who's a singer. Pretty good. My wife, you know, not to blame it on her, but she really wanted to go. And yeah, it was a good show. He's a talented dude, and that was a fun show in Portland. And of course, we spent the afternoon wandering around Portland looking for all the war-ravaged areas and couldn't find any. But I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I see them on the news, I think. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, actually, gang, we did. Full disclosure, we did witness a murder. A murder of crows. Look at that. Unbelievable. Up to 22,000 crows take to the skies each fall and winter in Portland, thanks to the mature tree canopy, as well, of course, as the nice microclimate of Portland during the colder months. And no predators, so they're just up there. They're loud and they're proud, and it's pretty cool to see them swarming around up there. Pretty neat, pretty awesome, actually. And yeah, good little city. In fact, I'll be up there tomorrow. Oh, God. It might be on fire after tomorrow. That's right. ICP tomorrow in Portland at the Roseland Theater. I'm going to get my Juggalo on. I'm not a Juggalo, but, man, it's a fun show, and it's great people watching, and I can't wait. I can't wait to go. Maybe I'll show you some of the Fago surprises and then dodging 2 liters videos during my next Through the Mail Monday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually, the Portland Retro Gaming Expo is going on right now too. I might actually get up there early enough to go check that out. I'm going with a couple of friends, so I think one will definitely be into it. One might not, and for $41 a pop, that might be a hard sell for him, trying to get him to go. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, my friends, I'm gonna wrap this up before we hit the 13-minute mark or whatever we're near right now. So yeah, go Mariners. Let's do this. Let's get to the World Series. Poor Seattle, and they lost their basketball team a couple decades ago, and it's a good sports team, and it's good sports. It's a good sports. What is it called? It's a good sports city, and it'd be nice to see them have some more things to cheer about. Of course, that place exploded during that Grand Slam last night, and exploded during the Cal Raleigh solo home run to tie it up too. So that would be super cool to see them make the World Series. I don't know who's going to beat the Dodgers. They're looking at a dynasty, and you know, part of me is like, you know what, it's a dynasty. Let's just let them win their 2 or 3 or 4. And then maybe they'll break up and go away. But it's tough because, man, they're good. And they have no problem spending money and making moves. And it's unlike any dynasty of the past, which was always kind of hard to keep together after you had some aging stars. And you just couldn't buy a bunch of people and throw them on the team and replace your older stars. And it's going to be tough. I mean, they're set up to be very good for a long time, and that's a little terrifying. Even though it is really hard to win these things. It's really hard to win multiple World Series, but they might do it. You know, that's like when the Braves won the World Series, and then the Nationals won the World Series. I'm like, okay, they're gonna let them get their World Series. The team's gonna fall apart. Now the Braves kind of fell apart because injuries. The Washington Nationals just fell apart because everyone just signed their mega deals after they won the World Series, and no one stuck around. So, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why it's hard to keep these teams together, but Dodgers just might do it because they're the Dodgers, and they got Shohei Ohtani. Even if you just want to play with that guy, I would assume, even if you're, if you have an opportunity to go to LA, go to LA. So, I remember the NLCS last year when I went to Game 5 in LA, and of course it took me 2 hours to find my car in the parking lot. Boy, that was a nightmare. Boy, that parking lot is crazy. I needed to track down Pepino Man and maybe show me around the the parking lot map because I was super lost. I found it though eventually. It was near some steps that lead up into one of the walkways. If you guys know what I'm talking about, who's ever been to Dodger Stadium, there's these steps that take you out of this pit you park in, and then I just needed to find those steps, and there's a little bathroom there too, and I just couldn't find it for the life of me in the dark. So, all right, guys, 13 minutes. Sorry, yeah, that didn't happen, did it? Just started talking about all sorts of random things. So there you guys go. All right. Thanks for watching, gang. Of course, I got my set update videos every Friday. Every single Friday. I go from 74 tops, 84 tops, 87 tops, and 89 upper deck. Of course, you guys see me get a bunch of those cards back, and you end up seeing me put them in the binder on Friday. So check out those videos if you haven't done so already, and have a great week, gang. Go Mariners. Actually, Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. It's Saturday when I'm making this video, obviously, so not sure. Trying to get this done before the Duck game. I think the Ducks are on at 3:30 against Rutgers, which is super weird as a New Jersey guy. The Ducks are playing Rutgers, and it's a league game. League game, Smokey. All right, gang, I'm done. Done talking. I swear. All right, I'll see you.